back from more Walking Dead. This is episode 7 of season 11. Very excited, as always, to see what's going to be happening next. This is the penultimate episode, I think, of the first half of the season. It will be the mid-season finale next week. Already, these episodes are flying by. And it's also Walking Dead World Beyond premiere day as well. So, bit of a manic time trying to get both those out. But if you do watch World Beyond and you watch my reactions to season 1, I will be reacting to the premiere right after I record this. So I'm aiming to get both of these up fairly soon within each other. So we'll see how that all goes. But yes, this is just, bog standard Walking Dead. And last episode was awesome. I loved it. Focus on Connie. And Virgil. Creepy, weird fuckers crawling around like Gollum. And we had the big reunion as well between Connie and Kelly and everyone, which was really cool. So I don't know if we're going to be seeing the aftermath of that, or we're going to be focusing on another group of people, because we had some stuff. I think we had some other stuff going on with Daryl and Pope and all of that Reaper-y stuff. So it's kind of flip a coin and we'll see who we focus on in any one episode. So I am intrigued to see what the focus is going to be in this one. If things are going to properly escalate, knowing that it's the mid-season finale next week, we'll have to wait and see. But either way, I'm excited, so let's get into the next episode.
Our people are about to starve. I'm not going back to my family out of fear.
You come this far,
At least it
But I get it.
I do this for you. Or even, you're good. I don't have to keep looking over my shoulder.
Oh.
I'm assuming you are a woman of your word. I've always been a man of mine.
Was that man of his word when he was cheating on his wife? But I get his point. Oh, well, that was horrid. Thank you.
This becomes another debt we have to work off.
Never been afraid of hard work. Kinda anti-friends who die from stubbornness.
Yeah, if it gets you well, it'll be worth it, won't it?
Way too close to where the nasties are working. The smell is revolting.
Just like your first impression, friend.
I'm not staying here permanently. I just want to make that clear.
After you meet Miss Milton, you might reconsider.
Is she a
I don't want to
hypnotist?
see my friends. I'd like to speak to her right away. Please.
I love that she's just so clear on what she wants and how she wants to do it.
Your sister's out there. Find her.
That's a depressing task.
If he's alone, then you have the advantage.
I will. I kept my mask for practical and sentimental reasons.
Oh,
Well, not with that attitude.
Let's get it over with.
I don't like the sound of this.
There are dozens of these assholes out there. No!
I mean, you could go yourself.
Your brothers are dead!
You killed a couple of them. He's there moaning at them for not finding anything. He's just sitting here telling very, very long stories.
Yeah, you don't understand. It's easy for you out here on your own, only having to worry about yourself. We have a whole community to protect.
Yeah. Is this like act like a Walker training camp? Because that's hilarious.
It's not gonna fit you perfectly. It was someone else's face.
Yeah.
Look, this might.
Although it was very big.
You did good, Maggie.
Oh my god. Compliments between those two. It's almost as if it's the end of the world.
Tell me, Father. You have guided me through the darkest of times.
They're about to get darker, I think.
Please don't know when you save someone when you're told such good
Be
news.
still. Sit.
He really doesn't want people knowing, does he? Doctors die in this show, Yumiko. You don't understand.
You have to know your place.
Uh-oh. Did they find out he's a doctor or something? Proud teacher Negan is very strange. At least the mask fits better.
Right. Has he changed?
Can't know that.
But that did seem like
Would be.
she's a bit more open to believing maybe he has changed a bit.
Your promise?
I hope I can keep it.
Yeah. As long as he doesn't force her hand, it'll be fine. Right?
And you want your friends who broke the law to go free. Those are big asks.
Broke your laws in a much wider world, though.
There must be something in it for you.
So what do you say? You sit tight for a few more hours?
This guy unnerves me.
A few hours.
As the kids used to say, he gives me the heebie-jeebies.
How do you want us to engage?
Oh dear.
Copy that.
You think I don't understand the losing side of a massacre?
There were no children at the satellite station. No families.
Then where'd Aaron get Gracie?
That's true, yeah.
Think I don't know about that. They had friends. They had girlfriends
That was one of the big starting events with it all, wasn't it? Them attacking that.
that I couldn't heal. Yeah, if I could do it all over again, I'd have killed every single one of you.
Well, at least he's honest. Would have saved the faff, wouldn't it? But then you wouldn't have become a better person today, I don't think.
Why would you say that to me?
Yeah.
And the only way this works, Maggie, is if we're honest.
You might never get on, but if you can still kind of trust, that's something, isn't it?
Who's new? I got antibiotics, painkillers, IV fluids. Thank you. Truly
Ah,
thank you.
nice.
I'd like you to clear the area up along the north fence line. Can you show him?
Yeah, sure.
Excellent. Ezekiel, Princess, come with me.
Oh, what now? We'd like you to fight to the death for the entertainment of our people.
You run into any of them?
No.
He killed a Terminator without hesitation. Come on, Gabriel. Make up your mind. Gotta imagine seeing this from Eugene all those years ago.
What the hell was that about? You just disrupted our date.
Excuse me.
Been more disruptive if we got fucking eaten,
We
buddy.
have private security for that. Sorry, I'm just not used to talking to a plebeian, so this is...
Nope.
Someone use their dictionary.
Hey,
today.
Eugene.
Now, just a minute. Just 1 second.
And their private security can get it.
Oh, I think I do. And that would be a tiny little man.
Look what you just did to my girlfriend.
Yes, thank you. What a tit.
What did you do?
This guy was being, well, an asshole.
We're so
Don't
sorry.
touch this dumb shit. Rolled up and attacked me.
That is categorically untrue.
I hate this guy already. So that's good.
What the hell are you thinking? Don't you know who that is?
Don't you know who that is? Like, they haven't been here for like 5 minutes and he spent most of that time locked up.
It's broken. I haven't seen my friends in a few days, so.
I'm sorry to hear that. Is everyone okay?
Oh, she doesn't know.
Yes.
She hasn't seen him in a few days.
I'm afraid Miss Milton will have to reschedule. Someone just attacked her son.
Oh, for goodness sake. I hate everything. He had it coming. He had it coming.
I need the name of your town and how to get there.
That is beyond my purview.
Oh boy.
The people, wherever they are, can figure things out on their own.
If I were to disclose those coordinates, what guarantee could you provide?
I don't know if I trust them.
Look around. Think how we've treated you. All the chances you've gotten.
He's all like, oh, look at how we treated you. You know, remember when we first arrived and we took you all captive for God knows how long? Like, they started off being dicks. So they can, like, scour the place out, protected by walkers, I suppose. It's quite clever. They're all like, damn, Alpha had a point. Well, still gonna kill him?
You need to take your son and Don't ever come back here.
Let's hope for her yet. Look.
Don't be afraid. It's okay.
Oh, that's really sad though.
I'm ready.
Damn.
Please.
That's a strong fucking woman. I don't think I could ask for it. Tracks less noise that way. Every cloud.
Something I need to tell you.
Come in, Joe.
Sure. Over.
When you get back to yourself.
We gotta go.
Well, that was very well dramatically timed. Oh, is that your sister? Oh, buddy. Oh. Damn. Look at all those CGI zombies. Okay, pretty good episode overall. I liked that we kind of checked in with basically all the main stories I think we've got going on right now. Outside of, you know, Connie and all of that kind of stuff in the build up to, you know, the mid-season finale next time. So that was fun to just have a few little advancements of, you know, a fair few stories, new characters being introduced, some kind of big character moments and developments as well. So lots of little things I thought were handled quite well. I think my favourite parts were probably the stuff with Maggie and Negan, and Gabriel and Elijah as well. Gabriel kind of going off on his own, like scouting ahead. He had the chance to take down one of the Reapers. I'm assuming it was because, you know, that person, you know, was quite religious. They were talking to, you know, I think they were just talking to God, and maybe Gabriel just felt a connection to that in some way, or he felt like with that he couldn't then just take that guy's life. You know, is that the reason for that hesitation? I'm not quite sure. Is that something they're going to delve into a bit more? Given the fact that he also then lied to Maggie that he, you know, didn't see anyone there or didn't have the chance to kind of take anyone down when he did. They do sometimes it does feel like they go back and forth on Gabriel's character quite a bit. I remember they had a whole dramatic scene like seasons back now. I can't even remember what season it was, but it was a while ago, where he, like, you know, took his collar off, discarded it, and he was like, oh wow, that's a big step for him, and then he just started wearing it again, and they didn't really properly delve into going back to that. So I do feel like they flip-flop with Gabriel a lot, I must say, but I can at least understand, I think, his hesitation in this one, and I'm wondering if they are going to explore that a bit more, or if it was just a way of, you know, getting the actor some of the screen time he was contracted for this season. So we had that going on, and then this whole mission to find Elijah's sister and, like, you know, get some closure for him in that sense, to, like, all their friends, and continue the journey to Meridian and hopefully get some supplies. And now they have a whole ass army behind them, and disguising themselves with the, you know, literal face masks of, like, Whisperer standard. And I like how, you know, we saw Negan kind of training to make them under Beta's Iron Fist, you know, last season I think it was. So those skills have kind of come back. So I like that little storyline for Negan last season now kind of comes into play, because he has those skills. He can pass it on to other people as they're kind of guaranteed that they're, you know, they may not be food, which is nice. So I thought that was a cool idea, and I'm excited to see where that's all going to lead now that they are heading into Meridian. And Elijah kind of spotting his sister there. That was a lovely moment where Maggie kind of held his hand. Great shot of the two of them there with the whole army behind them. So that was really good. And yeah, I'm assuming they will reach Meridian in the mid-season finale, and we'll find out how successful it's been, because, you know, the whole journey to Meridian has been there since the premiere episode. So I feel like we're going to need to get some big kind of closure, or some kind of conclusion to that in the next one. Some big event happening. So exactly what's waiting for them in Meridian, we'll have to wait and see. So I'm sure it's not going to be as simple as, oh yay, food, let's go. There's going to be some kind of complication, whether it's Walker related, whether it's Maggie and Negan having a fight again. But I do feel like this was the biggest step forward in terms of Maggie and Negan development, and that was easily my favourite part of the episodes, and my big takeaway was that just the opening scene itself, when Negan promised to stick around if Maggie promised that they're good once all this is said and done. And I like that Maggie did say she hopes she can keep that promise. She wants to be a woman of her word, and we know she means it, because she didn't say that to Negan's face to try and just keep the peace as much as he could, I guess, or make him feel like, oh, I can relax a bit now, she's promised. And then she's like, haha. It was just her and Elijah, I think, when she said that. So we do know she's genuine in that. But whether or not she actually will be able to keep that promise is another thing altogether. And I wouldn't blame her if she didn't. But also, I do feel like there were some significant steps forward for both of them in this episode. I think Maggie became a bit more open to the idea that Negan has changed, because she was away for so long. And I think there's a difference between maybe forgiveness and making peace. I think she can make peace with Negan. I don't think she'll ever forgive him, and I wouldn't blame her for that either. I don't think I can ever forgive Negan. But, I feel like they did make some big, significant steps, and that honesty that Negan was talking about. And he was like, I appreciate his brutal honesty. Like, if I had the chance to do it all again, I'd just kill every single one of you. Because, hindsight's 2020. Sorry to bring up that number, but I kind of appreciate that about him, and it is just him like laying himself on the line there. He's like, that is who I am. This is the person that you need to accept and have in your team, if any of this is going to ever kind of settle down. And I like that Negan also brought up some of his own points, like the big attack on one of his kind of bases was one of the key things that started that war between them in the first place. That, and I think the very first conflict they probably had was the bikers that were under Negan's rule, attacking Daryl, I think it was, and then Daryl blew him up with an RPG. So I think that was them kind of starting that, and then the retaliation there, somewhat preemptive, I guess, from Rick and the gang to take down that settlement, really kind of escalated things. So I like that he brought that up, and the idea that there must have been some big conflicts there because of Gracie, and the fact that Aaron suddenly had this little girl. The fact that he hasn't brought that up, and it's been, like God knows how many years since that. It's quite funny, but I like that. It's just showing Negan's side of things as well. He had his own people to protect. He had people who had families of their own, who were then just murdered and slaughtered. So it was, very much two sides of the war. So, I do respect that he is making his case. I may not necessarily agree with all of his methods and everything he says. I think both he and Maggie have been very hypocritical at times, in this season and in previous ones, I'm sure. And they both, I think, have valid arguments and valid points about whether they can get on and work together, whether or not Negan should live or not. But that honesty that Negan showed, I think to an extent, the honesty that Maggie showed by wanting to keep that promise to Negan, but not saying that to his face, so we can kind of see it's genuine. That's a huge step forward for them. I didn't want it to just be argue, punch, slap, fight, every episode for them for the entire season. I like that we did make a significant step, and it was just much more interesting, I think, to see them make a bit of progress, and to see Negan like teaching Maggie a new trick and like praising her for it. And Maggie kind of admitting like, oh well, Negan is useful, we probably do need him. So I liked everything with that. The scene of just the two of them talking about, if they could do it all again and everything, and why Negan killed people in front of their families, why he would justify himself of all people, to her, and the honesty that needs to come with that. That was easily my favourite scene of the episode by a long shot. So I really liked how they handled the story with those two very much. And I'm excited to see how the plan will unfold, I'm assuming, in the next episode. And if this properly is a step forward for the two of them being able to be on okay-ish terms, if they can put up with each other. So yeah, I'm excited for that. And then everything in the Commonwealth. I like that Stephanie... I know a lot of people still think it's a fake Stephanie and they're going to do a fake out. Could still be the case. But if this is just real Stephanie, I quite like her. I like that she is still willing to kind of help out, deal with the punishments, step in when she needs to, like saving the... I don't know if we've got a name of the jerk guy who was like, oh, you've interrupted our date, they attacked us, that prick. Easily the most evil character in The Walking Dead, I believe. We must kill him. She very quickly acted to save his girlfriend from that walker who was approaching while he was fighting with Eugene. So I like that she's kind of getting involved in that. She got it so that Ezekiel got some treatment for his cancer, which I am very pleased about. It's not necessarily a cure or anything, but it's nice that he can feel better and not feel as much pain. So it was nice to see Ezekiel quite upbeat and light-hearted about things, bringing his friends lollipops. Very wholesome. Obviously, it was all kept going wrong because Eugene punched the guy, but justifiably so. So don't know who that guy is, but I know he's going to annoy the hell out of me, and I'm going to be wishing his death very much so. And of course, he's Pamela Milton's son. Of course he is. Typical. So that's going to cause even more problems, and we now know Hornsby wants even more information from Eugene if they're going to want to get out of the Commonwealth and get help for people of Alexandria, and that is telling them where they are, which could go horribly wrong. I still don't know how I feel about the Commonwealth as a place. I think there are nice people in it, but I don't know if we know the full truth of what's going on there. I don't know if some of the people that live there even know as well. Very interesting system, and the idea that they do have their own rules and laws and governments, and will punish complete outsiders for breaking those rules. They just wanted to come and say, hey, we've got a community, we need your help, can we? And then they kind of force them to become citizens of the place and then punish them for breaking the rules, even though they never wanted to stay there permanently anyway. That seems a bit dodgy to me. And Hornsby, I just don't know what game he's playing. I don't know if we can properly trust him or not. Maybe he is genuinely trying to be helpful and stuff, but sending Eugene and Stephanie off to find the prick and his girlfriend to you can save them, you get whatever you wanted. So did they know that the walkers were just going to come and eat those two? And they're like, oh, quick, get Eugene on that. That feels very manipulative. So I just don't know if he has a very sinister side to him. I feel like that could very easily be the case. So I guess we'll see. And the consequences of Eugene potentially telling him where Alexandria is, that could go horribly wrong as well. So yeah, I'm just waiting to learn a bit more about the Commonwealth, really, and exactly how it all works. And even with Tommy, he was happy with his life there. Suddenly he's being taken away. I don't know if it's because Yumiko was telling the world that he's actually a doctor every 5 seconds. That might have been something to do with it, and someone overheard and they've taken him away. So it seems quite coincidental if it's something else entirely, but I'm sure we'll find out. Could be a bit of a mess though. But I did enjoy that side of things, and the mystery going on with that. Just seeing a bit more of Yumiko and Tommy kind of bonding. And Yumiko just inhabiting this role as well as the lawyer, trying to do her best. She's very much aware of her own skills and abilities. She knows what she wants. She knows how she wants to get it. And I really enjoyed that. Her and the kind of woman at the desk as well, while she was waiting to see Pamela Milton, and obviously they had to reschedule and stuff. She had a nice little chat with her, which I liked. I feel like that character, because she was the one who got some ice cream earlier and didn't say a word to Eugene a few episodes back. I think that is the character people think is the real Stephanie. So I think there was like a casting thing and she was supposed to be Stephanie or something. So whether or not she is a real Stephanie or they just changed their minds and just gave the actress a different role, I don't know. But she did kind of seem a bit keen to learn a bit more about how Yumiko's friends were doing, even though Yumiko said, I literally haven't seen my friends in days. I don't know how they're doing. So maybe she is the real Stephanie and she's pushing for information about Eugene or something. I don't know. But that will be something that gets revealed or doesn't. So wait and see on that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Yumiko's kind of very independent role in the Commonwealth. She seems to just be a master of her craft when it comes to this place. She really can work wonders. So I like that because things are going quite well for her, but then all her friends keep fucking it up for her. So it's a bit of a mess, but I'm excited to see a bit more of that and where it's all going to go. But good on Eugene for punching that guy, I say. Nice parallel to when Abraham punched him in season 5, I think it was. Or maybe was it season 4? No, I think it was season 5. Yes. And Abraham just like thumped him when he found out he was lying about DC and everything, and then Eugene just goes flat down on the floor. Oh my god, it's one of the funniest moments of the show. So I like that. Oh, he's the one punching people. That's nice. And we've got a bit of Princess as well. I miss her pink jacket, but you know, it's probably not very suitable for their little jobs they had to do. But the fact that she was like just willing to do an extra bit of workload and pressing for Ezekiel to get some treatment, wholesome as hell. I really like her a lot. She has so much love for her friends, and a lot of that stems from the fact that she didn't really have anyone around her for years, I think it was. So I liked that a lot as well. And then alongside that we had the Daryl and Leah stuff. Pope, what's he doing? Make up your mind. What do you want to do? He's just moaning about things he could go off and do himself and solve himself. You know, he's giving out all these problems and not coming up with any solutions. He's not willing to just go out and do it himself. You know, he's just willing to get more and more excuses to shout at people because I think he just likes the sound of his own voice. I'm still wanting a bit more from the actual Reapers themselves. I think it's more so interesting the fact that we do have Leah involved in them. If Leah wasn't one of the Reapers, I would like have 0% care for that storyline with them anymore. Now that we properly have seen them and they just don't wear their masks now that we know who they are. They're just so generic to me now. But at least we got a nice glimpse, I think, with Leah in this one, that she still very much has a heart, and I think she is, you know, quite different to the rest of the Reapers, and I think she could easily kind of break away from them and rejoin Daryl. And I think Daryl got a sense of that as well, and that's why I think he was about to tell her, like, so I've been lying. I do have a group of people. Maybe you should come and join us and bring Dog. I feel like maybe that was what he was about to tell her, like open up about that, because he saw like she was going to spare that family, and then she couldn't even put down that woman there at the end, even though she was going to die. She got very emotional about that. You know, she had a very physical reaction to that, whereas she had been quite cold to so much other stuff. So there's still a lot of humanity to her, which I enjoy, and that could, you know, mean that she defects away from the Reapers at some point. That'd be nice. So I like the development with her, Daryl supporting her through that, you know, just trying to keep up his little game as best he can. But yeah, Pope, I'm waiting for him to actually do something worthwhile, and moaning like, oh, your brothers are dead, why aren't you more angry, why aren't you doing more stuff about it? I'm like, you bloody killed one of them yourself, mate. So I just feel like he's all talk, no walk thus far. I'm waiting for him to actually do something of note other than give very long monologues and wear hats in a very odd way. It feels like his hat's just like 2 sizes too small for his head, and like, you know, you don't have to wear that, you know, just get a cap. But yeah, so the actual Reapers and Pope themselves, not that invested in, but I do like, you know, Leah's involvement in that and a potential separation there, and Daryl kind of spotting that in her, I think. And I feel like they will probably head in that direction, and then maybe she'll join Daryl and they'll rejoin, you know, the Alexandria group just in time for Connie to be back, and then we're like, oh shit, love triangle or love square, whatever the fuck it is at this point. So we'll see how that goes, but I can't wait for Daryl to find out that Connie's alive, and that reunion is going to be everything to me. It's going to be all I talk about when it happens, but that might be a while off yet, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, we had some good moments with that little story, and I felt really bad for that little family and the guy who was actually telling the truth about, you know, his wife and son and stuff. And now they're off. Hopefully we don't see them both hanging from a tree, having been slaughtered in a few episodes' time, like a little Easter egg, because that would be depressing. So I felt bad for them. I felt bad for Elijah as well, having to see his sister was there, and he had to keep the cover up that he was just a walker. So that must have been incredibly tough. But I liked the strength that he showed to kind of power through that, and a little bit of comfort Maggie gave him obviously helped. So yeah, lots of interesting little things going on in this one. Some nice character moments. You know, I think plot-wise, you know, not the super strongest that we've had for sure. It was very much just moving the pieces of each of these plots a little bit, because it's the mid-season finale in the next one, so we kind of need to just advance a lot of things a little bit, you know, as opposed to just having like an episode all about the Reapers, like episode 4 was, or an episode all about, you know, the stuff with Connie and stuff. Like the last episode for the most part was about that. So it was just putting some pieces in place, I think, for the mid-season finale, which is absolutely fine. And yeah, some shenanigans in the Commonwealth. I'm excited to see a bit more of that, and where the whole thing with Leah may go, the end game with her and the Reapers, what's going to happen there, how is Daryl going to get out of this pickle and rejoin the main group. But again, as often is the case, the highlights for me were the Maggie and Negan stuff. That scene with them just being honest with each other, huge step forward for them. I'm glad that they seem to be making some kind of progress, because that could have gotten very old very quickly if they just kept bickering. And yeah, like the training to be like wearing the masks and be walkers, and now they're heading into Meridian with a little army on their side. It's a cool idea, a nice setup for what I'm assuming is going to be a mid-season finale. It provides some kind of scale to it, so I'm intrigued by that. The Gabriel stuff, I don't know if it was just kind of put in there so Gabriel has some screen time, because they do flip-flop on the character quite a bit sometimes. I think they've been a lot better consistency in the last couple of seasons, but, you know, I can kind of understand what they were trying to do with that. The fact maybe Gabriel is just holding on to his faith even after all these years. He's had a few wobbles, but I think that still kind of gets him through. And he probably saw a lot of himself in that guy, so he thought he'd spare him. So I liked, you know, a bit of character stuff with that. Certainly better than just pairing him with Rosita for no reason. And yeah, I'm excited to see where everything will go in the mid-season finale. Always a nerve-wracking time when we get to a mid-season finale, because we could lose some big characters. I don't think we've lost anyone major this season yet. Alden might be dead, but we don't know for sure. I think that's basically it. So, could be a bloodbath, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, overall, pretty good episode. Some great kind of character moments. I think that's what really shined through more so than any plot stuff for me this time. And I'm excited to see how they wrap up the first half of the final season. This is our last first half of the season. That's mental. But yeah, overall, pretty good episode. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes next week in the mid-season finale. So I will see you for that if you watch just the Walking Dead stuff. If you do watch Walking Dead World Beyond, hopefully very, very soon I will be posting the reaction to the premiere of Season 2. So look forward to that, hopefully, if you watch those as well. But if not, until my next reaction, thanks for watching.